What's up, everybody? This says I am live. I think I scheduled this for later though, so I'm not live. First of all, it's just me today. It's going to be a mini episode. DJ is a country boy and girl getting down on the farm. That's a Tim McGraw reference, not some sort of strange non-binary joke. It could be a thing. We could repurpose all Tim McGraw songs to fit today's progressive and/or woke side of the internet. That might be fun. I don't know how he would do it. I mean, half of his shit is racist. Not half, just his biggest hit, Indian Outlaw. I think that's his biggest hit. Whatever. This is not Bubba Shot the podcast. Why am I rambling about Tim McGraw? Here's the deal. DJ's working on the farm all week as far as schedules go. Oh, I am live. Okay, I'm getting comments. Okay, I meant to schedule this for YouTube so I didn't have to download and re-upload. But hello, Lisa. Glad you're here. DJ is on the farm, like I said, dealing with Nessie and all that stuff. Got a new job, working it, and I'm not trying to lay it at his feet. I'm about to leave town with Andy to go camping for a few days because I need to not be on the internet or around people. So that's what's going on. I did want to talk a little bit about the tour. That's the first thing I wanted to do. We've got June 1st in Nashville. Yes, DJ will be there. We've got June 4th in Asheville. Yes, DJ will be there. That's the same night as Jason Isbell. I want to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. We have June 10th in Chattanooga at the Cherry Street Tavern. We got a band playing that night. I'm going to be late because I'm coming from my in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary party. Me and Annie have been fighting about it all week. That's a fun story. She's asleep. I'll assume she's going to stay asleep while I tell you guys real quick. Here's my thing. And I'm curious. And since I did accidentally go live, and there are a couple people watching, y'all can chime in if you want. If someone says, oh, the event is Saturday the 10th, and you go, okay, I'll plan a thing for Friday. But Saturday's not the 10th. I'm genuinely curious. Would most people think the 10th or would most people think Saturday? What I mean is, if someone told you, hey, we're having a party on Saturday the 10th, and it was actually on Friday the 10th, would you in your mind remember Saturday or the 10th? Genuine question, just wondering. It's not me trying to win a marriage fight in a petty way. You would think Saturday. Thank you, Lisa Marie. Thank you very much. I am being petty. This is fun. For if you're just joining us, I'm getting a few more eyeballs. I didn't mean to go live. I tried to just record this to YouTube, but we are live. And what we are discussing is if someone says it's Saturday the 10th, and then you find out that it's actually Friday the 10th, would you have in your mind thought the 10th or Saturday? Everyone's saying Saturday. You guys are on my side. I'm not brave enough to wake Andy up and tell her this, but I'm loving you guys right now. And there's a few of you who are writing Saturday who are like, wait a minute, I'm picking against Andy, and you're about to change your answers. And I want you to know that God knows you're a coward in your heart. Stick with what you know is right. Everyone would have thought Saturday. Well, that was a long aside. I didn't mean to do that. The point is we're at Cherry Street Tavern on the 10th in Chattanooga. I do plan to be there. I may change my mind. I'll let everyone know beforehand if I do, but I'm planning to be there. The 22nd of June, we're at Birmingham at Avondale Brewing, and I heard Mike Cooley might be there. Not playing a set. I shouldn't even told you guys that. I'm just name dropping in a bold, raw, naked attempt to get you to come to our shows. Another vote for Saturday. I am crushing it. Six Face, you grew up in Chattanooga. Oh, that's cool. We're going to be there soon. What else I want to talk about? June 4th is the same night as the Jason Isbell concert in Asheville. If a lot of you want to come, but you're telling me you've already got tickets to Isbell or you're going to do Isbell instead, two things. One, I'm coming back in the fall. Me and DJ are going to do a bigger show, probably at, not the Gray Eagle. What's that other venue they have? This one is like capped at 70. Last time we were there, we sold like 200. So I'm not that worried about it. We are coming back in the fall. But if a lot of you are like, I want to be there, but I've already got tickets to Isbell or I'm going to Isbell, I can talk to them about maybe doing it as a pre-party, like say at 7. It'll be hard to get it much earlier than that, I would imagine. And then you guys can dip over to the Isbell concert together. That might be rad. I mean, I would imagine it's assigned seats because that's how Isbell's crowd usually is. So it's not like you have to get there early. You can have a drink with us, enjoy the comedy show, and then dip over. That's what I would recommend. Um, if that's what you want to do. But if nobody is into that, then we're just going to have it at 8. And I'm going to tell everybody, everyone there chose me and DJ over Jason Isbell. I'm going to tell Jason Isbell that. I'm going to tell him to his face next time I see him. Missed your Portland show. When we all be back to Seattle? We should be back to Seattle early next year, I would imagine. Six Face, if you mean well read. I don't know when DJ and I will make it to Seattle. Anyway, those are the June dates for now. I'm working on Atlanta and Athens. I'm going to, of course, do Knoxville and Bristol, but that'll probably be a little bit later. I met you guys in, well, it looks like your stem cell transplant went well. I'm going to post this as a podcast, not just a YouTube video. That was my plan to begin with. I didn't mean to go live. This is a lot of fun, but I would imagine that anyone listening to this at home right now is like, what is he reading? I'm reading YouTube comments in real time. I had some other things on my heart and mind besides nothing fights. I have to remember what they are, though. Let me check my notes. Yay, Bristol. Bristol's a lot of fun. Bristol's one of those towns. This is actually one thing that's on my mind. Real estate. Andy and I are not rich by any means, but we own a 1-bedroom house. It's very humble. It's very tiny. And it's in Knoxville. It's in the city limits, right on the edge. Literally 1 street over from mine is considered the county. And I get robocalls and voicemails and text messages almost daily of people saying they want to buy our property. I say people, I use that term very loosely, and that is not because I'm trying to accuse those in the real estate business of being subhuman, although sometimes. But what I mean is I think a lot of them are robots because the messages I get, that's not how a human speaks. And I can't figure out what the goal is. I suppose you cast a wide enough net as a real estate company. The robot sends out text messages. And if you get 1,000 yeses, then you send your agents to those yeses. And maybe you're trying to catch someone desperate because we're in this weird real estate boom. I don't know. What I do know is that Knoxville's blowing up. Bristol is not blowing up. I don't have enough listeners on this podcast to ruin anything about it, but like Bristol is a phenomenal town. But I don't know how anyone's affording rent and or property. I'm, again, not rich, but I do pretty well. Freaky Tiki says it's scammers wanting to lowball me when they send me those messages. I'm aware of that, but how is this working? Like the theory I just espoused, I think I used that word correctly, is the only one I can come up with, is that they're going to send out all these robots and then they have some system via computer or whatever else where if they get any kind of positive reaction, then an actual human being interacts. I don't know. Another thing that happened, there is right by my parents' house, beside the graveyard where my family's buried, there's an RV that's just parked. And I want it. And I think I can get it for cheap. See, now I'm the robo caller trying to lowball people. And the people who live there just abandoned it, and they built a house in Maryland. I don't know what happened. It was very strange. Like, we live way out in the country. When people from Maryland come in and then leave quickly, I always assume it's criminal or cultish based because we're in the kind of rural area where like people come because no one bothers you, right? Case in point, this RV is just sat there empty now for like 6 years. And it's not in that bad condition from the outside. So I'm like, I wonder if I can get a hold of these people and just be like, I'll give you $400 for it. Or, hey, I'm taking it and, come stop me. And instead just take $400. I also thought, screw that, I'll just steal it. Not from them. I would never do that. But the reason I thought that is I looked it up. It's not owned by them anymore. It's owned by a company out of Knoxville. This company out of Knoxville is called, I think, Countryland or something like that, countryland.com. And their whole system, as best I can tell, is they buy property up via the internet and then sell it via the internet. I am 99.99% sure they've never seen this piece of property that they bought off these people via the internet and are now selling via the internet. And the reason why is when you look up this listing, they don't mention an RV at all. When you look at the pictures, there's no RV in the pictures. In fact, it says that the way that it is zoned, you cannot have an RV or a trailer there permanently. This RV is definitely meant to be there permanently. My point is they bought this land sight unseen and they're selling it sight unseen. And in my heart, they don't even know that RV's there. I'm going to go steal it. What do you guys think about that particular crime? Can I get away with it? Please sound off in the comments. If you're listening to this episode later, go ahead and DM me or message me and tell me why that is or is not a good idea. I got an A- in property, but I don't remember anything. And my final was this very strange hypothetical about a duck laying a golden egg while straddling a property line, and it rolled one way, but the duck fell the other way and died. So I don't think I know anything about RVs. Ooh, I got out of breath. DJ just texted me. Let's see what he's doing. Oh, man, he's at a little goat showing. I'm going to make him jump on. You guys want to just file a lost title? Yeah, once I get it, I'm going to file a lost title. Or I thought about this, Bobby. My parents own an RV that's crappy. And I'm thinking I'll just pretend that one's the other because they're both old. Everyone's worried about title in it. Possession's 9/10 of the law. That's a thing that people made up, but it does have not any truth to it, but it alludes to a thing of just like, well, whoever's got it. Sorry, I'm asking DJ if he wants to do now. Anyway, that's been on my heart. Stealing an RV. That's what I've been wanting to do. What crimes have you guys been wanting to commit? I've always wanted to be a drug dealer and not like get the kids hooked kind of drug dealer, but just, I think adults should be allowed to have recreational use of marijuana, Molly. Those are the main things I want to sell. What stops me is that my brother's in prison, and so it broke my mama's heart. And if I ever did get caught, it would break her heart times a million. So that's really it. Six Mates just made a good point about the RV. If I don't drive it, I don't need a title. It's on my land. It don't matter. The title is for driving it around. Obviously, I got to get it moved, but I can figure that out. Lisa Marie wants to steal her neighbor's ducks because they've been neglecting. Here's the thing about ducks. I mean, I don't think you can own ducks. Like, go back to the property class I was just talking about. You can't own a duck. So what I'm saying is lure the ducks to you. If anybody out there currently is wanting to steal ducks, as your counsel, Drew Dollars, I am saying lure the ducks to your land, feed them, house them, give them baths and lots of little ducky treats, and they're your ducks. Well, they're not your ducks. No one can own ducks, but as long as you can keep them there, they've chosen you. This is a consensual relationship now that will totally hold up in court. I'm going to send DJ the link to this if that's cool with you guys. And if it's not, I don't know what to tell you. Get the hell out of here. But it's going to take me a minute, and I have ADD, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to talk about stealing ducks while I send this email. Talk amongst yourselves. There's DJ's email sent. Hopefully he'll be here momentarily. All right, what up? Thank you, counselor. Let's see here. I've always wanted to run a brothel. Jennifer, I'm so excited that a woman, and then particularly you, have said this to me. Is that criminal? To run a brothel, it's very criminal. There are a lot of statutes related to pimps that, in theory, were designed to make pimping, uh, a higher crime, a worse crime, more punishable than simple prostitution, precisely because a lot of people, and there are some people in the justice system who want to do better, recognize that many prostitutes are victims of various things. Of course, the state wants to say that they're simply victims of predatory pimps, when in fact they're often victims of much more than that. Societal pressures, the patriarchy, poverty, you guys get it. I got another vote for Saturday. I'm going to tell Andy, and she's going to be mad at me this whole camping trip. I will review that in a moment when DJ gets on, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Back to whorehouses. First of all, I love the word whore. I like the way it sounds and feels in my mouth, and I love whores. And what I mean by that is I love sex workers. I have been told by some sex workers, or no, some people on the internet, I don't think a sex worker told me not to call them whores, but then I've heard from other people that it's okay to call them whores. I just want to, that's my little caveat. I'm calling them whores. If you are a whore and you want to tell me I'm wrong, then go ahead. If you're not, then don't tell me I'm wrong. Shut the fuck up. So anyway, whorehouses. It is very legal to run a brothel, and it's a higher crime to do so than it is to simply be a prostitute. What's up, buddy? We're talking about crime.
I heard. Wait, what?
People are asking me about crimes they want to commit, and I'm giving them legal advice on how to commit it.
Cool.
Currently, Jennifer Smith has asked about running a brothel. Is that legal? I think it was rhetorical. She knows it's not legal, but she wanted me to get into the ins and outs of it. And where I'm at right now is I'm explaining that pimp statutes make running a whorehouse a higher crime than simple prostitution. In theory, the reason why is because they want to say, prostitutes are victims, pimps are predators. And in a lot of cases, that's true, but a lot of cases, it's not. Perfect example, and I've told a version of this story before. Sometimes the pimp statutes, pimp statute, that hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pimp statutes are used to charge regular sex workers who are not pimps with pimping, because the way the statutes read is they'll say, like, if you have a house in which you're running that business, well, sometimes these girls share their roommates. So neither are pimps, but they're being charged as pimps because they're, quote, running a whorehouse. So anyway, Jennifer, I think you should run a brothel. You'd have to go to Nevada to do it legally. The only other way I can tell you to do it is, keep it underground, keep it, what's the word I'm looking for? Real fair. On the hush, and also make sure that it's unionized, basically.
Yeah, man. For sure. Yeah.
DJ, you got any crime questions?
Nah, pretty good with. I know all there is to know. We talking about crime. Yeah, man. I like crime. I like crime. But I don't like crime. It's like one of those things to say, why'd y'all make this a crime? Dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, this wouldn't even be a thing if it was like smoking weed wouldn't even be a fucking thing.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even, it wouldn't even be something that you thought about on a daily basis.
It would be such a better society too. We wouldn't have dumb weed jokes if it was legal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know how no one's like, their whole personality being coffee isn't like a thing in comedy?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we would be if it weren't illegal.
Yeah, man. Even though it's kind of hard to say, man, like that shit, alcohol is a lot of people's whole fucking thing.
Oh, it would still be a lot of people's whole fucking thing, but there wouldn't be as much, like, I mean, in the comedy world. You know what I mean? Like a weed movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't need any more of them, do we?
I don't think so. Nah,
I don't think
maybe.
so either.
Man, who am I? Who am I to judge what we need? I don't know what we need. We don't need none of them. We need to make our own movies and show them to our friends, and let our friends
show them to your friends,
and let your friends be in them so that they could be proud of the things that they made.
Exactly. And everyone's complaining about all the videos on social media, and I get why. It seems like every app is turning into a video app, and some people ain't into that. But I say that's all you're really doing then is making movies and showing them to your friends.
That's it, man. That's all you're doing is you're making movies and showing them to your friends, man. It's so crazy, dude. Yeah, dude. I totally get it. I totally get it. Man, I tell you why hate social media is because it does become reality. And then the next thing you know, somebody's calling you fucking goat daddy in public because that's your name. And you don't realize what that sounds like until it comes out of somebody's mouth in a public area. And then you're like, oh, man, I got to change that. Yeah.
Now what?
But that's who you are to them. They are telling their
friends,
oh, did you see what Goat Daddy did? You know,
yeah, which word's more cringe-inducing for you?
Daddy.
Yeah. So look at my name right now, and I've been called Uncle Daddy only twice in public, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
but I do like writing that I'm Uncle Daddy. I need to get over it, I think, because I like being Uncle Daddy. Don't you like being Goat Daddy?
Nah, I'd rather be like Goat Father.
That's way worse.
What? I mean, that sounds a little. Yeah, father sounds so religious and like so rigid, but like,
dude. Speaking of, every time I go to San Diego, I mean to open with this joke, and I always forget. Their baseball team is the Padres. They're just the San Diego Daddies. I'm certain the gay community has already made a million jokes about that, but that's such a wild mascot name. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, man, you're right. That is. It is, man. It is. Yeah, something about goat, but man, like goat. I don't know how to. So speaking about goats and shit, just getting in there. Guess what we did today?
Oh wait, I'm gonna let you tell me. I want to circle back real quick to the reality thing because I think we can get about 5 more minutes out of that, and then we can move on to your thing at 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Because time is not real, but it is necessary that we fill it.
Okay.
That was something Corey and I have talked about this together on Well Read. We're like him being the show, and then we go out. Everybody wants to like get him fucked up and like all that, you know. But then the reverse happened with me, and I told him to his face, I was like, "This is your fault. Like you spent so much time saying that I'm a curmudgeon because I don't give a fuck about how charming you are or whatever. That now like people are afraid of me, and it's wild to think about how the social media world, once it crosses over into reality, I mean, it's one thing to be called Goat Daddy from across the room. It's another thing for, and Corey's example is the most like visceral one. It's another thing for like 20 people to buy you a drink and expect you to have it with them. And you have no one to blame but yourself. You can't be like, what's wrong with y'all? It's like, what do you mean? What's wrong with you?
Right. Yeah, you're promoting this and we want to do this with you. Like that's not our problem. That's why I promote hugs, man. I promote hugs. You get one. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I promote butt touches. If you consensually want me to, and you want to touch mine, I like it. Squeeze my butt. I'm very into butt squeezes.
Oh shit! The goat just went into the dog door.
Well, we're gonna get live on YouTube. Speaking of promoting a reality that now people will want you to live up to those expectations. The Goat Daddy is Daddy and the Goat.
She came in through there. Yeah.
Came to the dog door.
Yeah. Oh, come here.
Get it. I hope she escapes. I'm pulling for the goat.
Hold on. God damn it.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to circle back on another thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Contrary Girl says, I love that he just set the fucking phone down. In her experience, I'm assuming Contrary Girl is a her. Some of the brothel type situations provide security and safety for the workers and not so much the case with pimps. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, I'm sure it's case by case basis. I'm not defending pimps. I have before, quite literally, in court. That gets me back to the story I was going to tell. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this story, maybe all of you, but it is such a good story. So we ended up in a situation in Knoxville one time where we wake up and we go to arraign our people that are assigned to us that day in almost every public defender, and half of the regular bar has a new felony pimp case on their docket. And we're like, what the fuck? How'd they bust all these pimps? This is crazy. And then we looked at the names, realized they were all female, and we meet them, and we realized that they have charged sex workers with what we called the pimp statute because they were saying that by using Backpage.com, that was, quote, maintaining a business. In other words, they had a whorehouse simply because they had ads on Backpage.com or because some of them were roommates. And It was the worst, most disgusting display and abuse of state power I've ever seen. The lead detective who was undercover had many of the girls touch him, which was not necessary, but is not illegal when you're undercover. There's just like, theory out there of being a cop of like, if you're undercover, you got to stay undercover. So it's not illegal for you to commit crimes, including apparently going all the way or pretty far with a sex worker in order to catch them as a sex worker. In other words, my man was like getting blowjobs from sex workers and then being like, oh, charged you with the crime and it's not illegal that I did it too. He was fucking disgusting. Like you could just, I hate him. I want him to die. And we had all those girls in there and we took them all to trial. We were like, this is not, you're charging with the wrong statute. We're not taking any deals. They were like, well, you can plea it down to prostitution. It's like, no, you can charge them with prostitution. Then we'll plea it down from there. But we're not taking any fucking deals. Like the bar was just unified. And little Susan, I won't say her last name, was walking around behind in the halls behind the courthouses. She's about 4'4", brilliant lawyer, talks like this, just a country ass lawyer. She's about 75 years old now. She was probably 65 at the time. Basically saying to herself or anyone will listen, they just want whore trials. If they want whore trials, we're going to give them whore trials. We'll have 15 whore trials a day. I'll try a whore trial before lunch, after lunch. I'll come back at night. She sees me, Drew, we're going to have whore trials. You ready for a whore trial? Just to everybody. And it was so fucking hilarious and awesome. And eventually they dropped all the felonies. They were like, they're going to break the system. And we were like, yeah, we will.
Yeah, man, that's fucking rad, dude. That's what you're supposed to do. What happened to that cop? He's out there working.
Probably nothing. He's probably retired with a fat fuck pension right now.
What a piece of shit, dude. What do you think about? What do you think about these RICO charges with Atlanta?
Man, RICO was straight up designed because the mob was winning.
Yeah.
The very existence of RICO was to give cops a workaround of the Constitution because they could not fairly beat the mob.
Right.
The fact that it is now being used on young black men who are very openly praising gang culture is disgusting. And I mean that in every sense of the word. And people can go, well, you shouldn't promote gang culture. Well, what if gang culture paid for your first mixtape and now you can fucking provide for your family? And I'm not saying that that's what happened with all these guys. I don't want to be the stereotype dude who says all rappers are in gangs. That's not my point. My point is we got movies about cowboys and Indians. We got movies and songs about outlaws. We got movies and songs about pirates. We worship criminals every single day.
Yeah.
But then when the black community does it, suddenly we're going to use that. And it's bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. And I've read some of the facts of the cases where like I think it was Young Thug, maybe Young, I don't remember all their names. Maybe it was Young Gunna said something like, oh, y'all didn't beat him up. Y'all didn't shoot him or at least put him up or something. That's crazy. And like, that's a fucked up thing to say. For you to hear a story about an individual and your immediate response is like, damn, y'all didn't kill him. But like the idea that that's a crime.
Yeah,
is crazy.
Yeah,
and they're wanting to say, well, that's basically him ordering a hit because he's high up in the game. There is an old BET Comic View set, and I can't remember whose it was, where a guy's like, no rappers are high up in the gangs. Do you know why? Because to be up high in the game, do you know what you got to do? Keep your mouth shut. That's the first rule. What's the first rule of rapping? You talk too damn much. Like, none of these rappers are gangbangers. So like to me, it's not just racist. It's just an example of the overreach in general of the police state of America and knowing that arresting famous people gets you reelected, gets you in the news cycle, gets you a promotion. I mean, if you're a sociopathic prosecutor, you're looking for a case that'll get you on TV.
Well, I mean, as far as so from what I understand of it, it's like if we bust this gang, we can bust the whole gang and they're all charged with the same crime. Yep. So if this some bitch over here burnt down so like if you burnt down your business and and collected the insurance money, then I could be charged for that because we biscuit down,
Yeah,
right?
we are
And if
down
they,
for the record, FBI. Is that what you said? Biscuit down?
because we're in the end of the biscuit, we're affiliated, I guess is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, that's definitely basically how it works. And the reason it exists is the mob, what they were doing is when a whole investigation would come up, basically one or two guys would be like, I did all that. And they'd be like, we're going to send you to prison for life. And they'd be like, that's cool.
Yeah,
Because then the mob would take care of that guy's family for like the next 3 generations.
right.
And so the federal prosecutors who were working on these cases were like, this is bullshit. We got to figure out a way. And so what they did was what you were just talking about was like, if you're in a gang, you are an accomplice, period.
Regardless.
And even then,
affiliation.
right. And even then, excuse me, criminal defense lawyers were like, this flies in the face of everything in the Constitution when it comes to being charged as, criminally. But it didn't get shot down. I do think initially parts of it did, but very few parts of it did. So here we are, man.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, you know what I mean? But it seems like there's a lot of effort, like with these cops and stuff, with Cop City, especially in Atlanta. The fact that they're doing it in Atlanta, man, there's got to be some sort of concentrated effort to get to just bust that up and get it out of Atlanta.
Do you think? Do I think there's going to be, or do I think there should be?
You think there's going to be?
No, I think that we are going to descend further and further into a police state situation.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I think eventually we'll all be cops. I think it'll be the only job there is. I think everything will be automated. That can be automated, and then like a few people will be slaves, and everybody else will be a cop.
Well, that's what I'm figuring. Like in the metropolitan areas, like this is what we're moving towards, right? Like this is the way that it's really going down. It's like, and not just in this. This is like a kind of like, I think Atlanta has wanted to do this for a long time with its growing rap scene and the music that it's making, the culture that it provides. Like it's wanted to get these people out and the poor out. So like, it basically, all metropolitan areas look like they're turning into complete police, you know what I'm saying?
And let me add to that something that needs to be said when white people have these conversations. The black community is so far from a monolith, especially on this topic. Most black folk, when you talk to a man or woman or person beyond the binary, have been affected by police brutality personally or someone in their family. But many of them in the inner city have also been on the other side of this thing that we are currently talking about. There are plenty of black folk in Atlanta who are like, we want Cop City. Make the cops black. In their minds and hearts, they believe that will help the police brutality aspect of it. If you lost many people you love to gang violence, and the state, and especially if the state is a black DA, and it was a black DA who brought these charges, is saying these RICO charges, we're going to get rid of this. For white people to assume there's no clamor for, what's the word I'm looking for, authoritarian solutions. Well, that's a different type of racism. That's that liberal type of racism or something. All human beings have that inside them. And so, yeah, man, they have been trying to get this going in Atlanta for a while, including the black community, which, of course, in the South is often conservative about some topics, religious ones and corporal punishment ones. There's benefits in LA all the time. One of my friends, a comedian, just did one. It was for victims who lost their children. It was for mothers who had children die of gang violence. And that particular group, he was telling me, is very, very suspect to Black Lives Matter, because while they recognize police brutality as an issue, the idea of getting rid of police is insane to them because they have gangs in their neighborhoods that scare them. And in those particular cases, killed their daughters or sons. So like, yeah, man, people are clamoring for that in Atlanta. It will not work. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sit here and act like I just don't care about gang violence. It's just that won't work.
For sure. For sure. It's just, it's hard to wrap your mind around, man. Like what the end game could possibly be. And I don't think it's racist as much as it is classist. Also, I would like to say that.
I think they're intertwined in this country. I think that when you build a country like ours, they're intertwined. But I agree with you. It's class. It's capitalism. It's money.
Right.
I mean, if the solution that we were all looking for was a better community for everyone, if that was truly what all the powers that be were after, we would never get there perfectly, but we would steady be making more progress than we are. These entities that are trying to make money off of everything, every cultural issue is what's ruining it. Man, we're really having a dark fucking episode today.
Sorry. You want to ride 4-wheelers?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go ride 4-wheelers.
4-wheeler. Yeah.
That's a good
Get on? Yeah.
Did you ride 4-wheelers any growing up?
Yeah, a little on and off.
Yeah, we had one, and every time my dad left, I would get on it because I wasn't supposed to be on it alone, and I wrecked it like 15 times. But then the one time I wrecked it, and I bent the handlebars so bad I couldn't bend the back. I had to own up to it.
Boo.
Yeah, owning up to stuff.
Responsibility.
Not it. Owning up to stuff. Well, hey man, I think I'm gonna go camping. You're gonna ride that 4-wheeler. I think we've done it. I think we've done it today.
I don't know if I'm gonna ride a 4-wheeler while I'm on, but yeah, man, go camping, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Go to hit it up, man.
Hey, I already plugged the show up top. The shows. Do we have a link for Chattanooga on the way? I hope.
Man, yeah, I'll holler at them again. I'll holler at them again today. Sorry, my bad.
On my website, you can find the ticket links for the Nashville show, the Asheville show, and the Birmingham show. There are other shows coming. I've been talking to them about Bristol. I can set up Knoxville basically whenever I want. I just figure out which run I'm going to put it with. We're going to do Atlanta. We're going to do Athens. Really a lot of stuff. I'm hopefully going to do some stuff on the mountain with DJ. Anyway, come see us this summer. You guys know. It's a Joy Revival Tour.
Yeah, man. Also, if y'all are interested, if you're taking a vacation, you want to take a little time, you want to come check out some other shit. Goats in the Gap. You can get yourself a room. You can come out there. You can hang out. And you can see what we're up to. Getting into some rad shit up there with goats. And
Explain
stuff.
to them what the Gap means, because most people think you just invited them to a mall.
Goats in the Gap is in Rabun Gap. It's in Rabun Gap, Georgia.
Goats in the Gap, bro. I thought you said go to the Gap.
No. Goats in the Gap. Yeah, it's in Rabun Gap, and it's a really beautiful place. And they got an Airbnb there, so you can stay there on the side of the mountain on the farm and check out what we're doing. If you know somebody who's interested in that kind of stuff, and then I'll be there in and out doing stuff. You'll be able to check out the goats, be able to see how rad Nessie is and how good her training is coming. And then hopefully we might even be training a couple more baby goats here coming up soon. So you can see how that's done and how that works. Good thing about it in the world is that you could just train goats and they'll license you, man, because that shit isn't regulated. Like don't know what anything about it. You can just be like
goat trader.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this: if it's not regulated, why you got to get a license?
I mean, you don't even have to have a license. You just be like, "Yeah, man."
You can be like, "I like your goat. You like my goat. Let's switch them out."
Do you want a therapy goat? Because this goat's perfect for all of these things, and I'm the person who trained them. So obviously, I'm giving myself license to show you how this is done and allow you to bring this into your life.
Oh man, I love it. I want to
hopefully some beans
cards.
Yeah, man.
So go to the goat cards to trade. That's what I want.
Yeah, we get a goat cart.
I said card, but yeah, we need a goat cart.
Oh, yeah. I was like, man, there's a goat cart place up here, dude. We go get one.
But we got go-karts. We had to get one. We got them right now.
Oh man, hell yeah! All right, man.
Bye, everybody. I appreciate everyone logging in and all the comments. Lisa, we skipped right over you spanking somebody at Naughty Bingo. I want to know more about that at some point. Contrary Girl, appreciate you. Freaky Tiki. Ozark Hillbilly, get yourself some peace, Drew. I feel like that was probably in reference to something, but it feels like somebody just logged on and was like, Drew, you need some peace, dog. And of course, Jennifer and Six Face, appreciate all y'all's comments. I think I got everybody. See y'all out there. Bye.
Holler. Love you.